In 5 minutes, BBC2 continues Kenneth Clark's personal view of civilization. Now the news summary on 2 with Nicholas Witchell.
Good evening. The headlines. The Northern Ireland wife released from captivity says she'll divorce her Supergrass husband if he doesn't retract his evidence. A critical letter from Liberal leader David Steele. It's silly, says Cyril Smith. Yorkshire manager and captain Ray Illingworth has offered to resign. He's sick of all the aggro. Now these and the rest of today's news stories with subtitles. Mrs. Elizabeth Kirkpatrick, wife of the INLA informer Harry Kirkpatrick, says it's divorce if he won't retract. Her husband is giving evidence against more than 40 people accused of terrorist offences. Mrs. Kirkpatrick had been held hostage by the INLA for 3 months under threat of death. She was released last night. It's understood Harry Kirkpatrick does not intend to withdraw his evidence. There's been reaction in the Liberal Party to Mr. David Steele's critical letter to Liberal MPs. Mr. Cyril Smith has called the letter silly and says it will harm the alliance. But Mr. Steele's political advisor, Mr. Richard Holm, says the letter shouldn't have become public, and he stresses that Mr. Steele is keen to continue as leader of the Liberal Party. An RAF pilot was killed when his jet crashed into the sea 200 yards from the beach at Scarborough. The plane, a single-seater Lightning, was watched by hundreds of holidaymakers as it came down. The plane had taken off from RAF Binbrook. The pilot has not yet been named. The Soviet leader, Yuri Andropov, has made a new offer on curbing medium-range nuclear missiles. If the United States says it won't deploy its new missiles in Europe, Andropov says he'll reduce Soviet missiles there. He says he'll liquidate SS-20s, Russia's most modern missile, to keep a balance between East and West. Mr. Andropov's move comes just 10 days before the arms control talks resume in Geneva. Fire has destroyed film sets worth millions of dollars at the Paramount Studios in Hollywood. 150 firemen were needed to control the flames, and many large outdoor sets were ruined. The set for the new Star Trek film was one of those damaged in the fire. Miners at the Cardowan colliery near Glasgow won't strike to save their pit. In a secret ballot, they rejected a strike call by more than 3-2. But in South Wales, miners' leaders urged strike action to save the Bryn Hugh pit from closure. The men there will meet on Wednesday to discuss what action they should take. The Yorkshire cricket manager and captain Ray Illingworth has offered to resign. He says he's sick and tired of all the aggro and will leave if Yorkshire will pay him out of his contract. His remarks follow yesterday's attempt to rebut criticisms of Jeff Boycott's playing. In Newsnight tonight at 11 o'clock, a major report on civil rights. Hundreds of thousands are descending on Washington night for a mass rally to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Martin Luther King's impassioned I Have a Dream speech. Brian Barron assesses how far that dream of equality for America's blacks has been fulfilled. And from Edinburgh, Joan Bakewell looks at the row behind the scenes that has had the festival organisers and the city fathers at loggerheads. And now, a look at the weather.
Much of England and Wales will have another dry day with sunny periods tomorrow, although it may be rather cloudy in some places at first and in northern parts later. Scotland and Northern Ireland will be rather cloudy for a while with a little rain in places, but it should become brighter and drier everywhere by afternoon. It'll be warm again in the south, but cooler than today in the north. And that's how the chart looks tonight. BBC2. Kenneth Clark's personal view of civilization continues now as he examines the way in which the telescope and microscope revealed new ways of looking at the world.